Team USA, I see you. That was one brilliant game in parts because first half the pace and the energy with which the USA team played their game, which they call it weirdly soccer. Well, we understand why, but that was brilliant to watch. The energy and the pace, but it was also understandable that they won't be able to sustain that kind of pace or energy for 90 minutes. That was insane energy from Team USA in the first half. What Wales tried to do in the first half was they tried to match that pace, which was not the right thing to do. They had to break that pace down, they had to slow the game down and take more control of it, which initially they did not do. But in the second half, Wales did a brilliant job. They almost looked like the team most probable to score the last goal. Eventually, the game ended up in a 1-all draw, which neither team will be too sad about or neither team will be too happy about. The first half completely belonged to the USA and the second half nearly belonged to the Wales team. Now, what will happen next? That's the question. I don't know. I think England will be too strong a side for both the sides, but the energy with which USA started off the match, I'm sure they won't be able to sustain that kind of pace for like the entirety of 90 minutes. But if they are smart enough and they can break that kind of pace into, like, let's say a burst of 5 minutes each, start off the game or somewhere in between, they can bring this is going to be the 5 minutes we're gonna play with that kind of pace. And then if they can counter attack or bring that energy in, try to demoralize the opposition, that will be great because that pace, that frenzy was amazing to watch. The game and the energy from Team USA. That's what I said. They're not like the traditional powerhouses of football, but that was a brilliant game. That's a game that I enjoyed. Strategy had to be put into place from the Welsh team. At halftime, there must have been a talk and saying, guys, we are better than this. Come on, let's do this. And yeah, it was a good game eventually. And Timothy Weah, his story is also fascinating. We're not getting into the details. Let's get back to today's game. 4 games, but I fear for my Asian sides. Yeah, come on. One of the top favorites, Argentina, will be taking on Saudi Arabia, which I think is going to be a blowout. That's the first game today at Indian time, 3:30 in the afternoon. And at night, 12:30 Indian time, it's the defending champions, France, who will be taking on another Asian. It's technically, let's say it's an Asian side. They belong to AFC now. Will be taking on Australia, which could also be another blowout. It's not a great time to be an Asian side in this World Cup, but what if? I mean, just imagine, look at the history, man. Argentina and Saudi Arabia, they have taken on each other 4 times. 2 times Argentina won the match, but twice Saudi Arabia has managed to get a draw in. So even a draw will be like a huge moral victory for the Saudi Arabian side, especially coming against. I mean, look at the world rankings. There's like a big gulf between the rankings of both these teams. We never know what's going to happen. But I think it's going to be a blowout in favor of Argentina. And the rest of the matches, well, it's not like that we expect any of the other teams to go out and win today. Denmark will be taking on Tunisia, and Mexico will be taking on Poland in the other matches, which will be sandwiched by, of course, the Argentina and the France match. These 2 games come in the middle. And if I have to pick one team, which I think could be the real dark horses of this World Cup, I would seriously be picking Denmark. Which game am I most excited about? I'm excited about the France versus Australia because I think that will be an even contest when compared to the Argentina versus Saudi, because I don't see the Saudi Arabian side actually putting up a fight. But if they will be able to do that, that will definitely be a sight. All the very best.